What's up, dudes? This is LastBrohican here. I'm doing my first video Let's Play, and I figured no better Let's Play video than Banished. Banished is probably one of 2014 or maybe 2013. We'll go with 2013's best jewels in terms of having a city builder slash simulation slash survival. This game definitely put itself on the map in terms of really being something greater, even though it was very low budget, very one of the better green lights, better early access games out there. So we'll get started. I kind of want to just show the ropes of really getting through that first year, that first winter on hard starting conditions. So let's look at this. I mean, we can. Oh, what was that? Oh, Pickles, Tornik, Diver, Portsmouth. No. Da, da, da. Polo. Mules. Maybe. We'll see. Senoir. Alright, we'll do that. I don't know. Let's just do that. Okay. So, start this off. I've put a fair amount of hours into this game. At least probably over 100 hours. I've done a lot of towns. A lot of towns just fail or they take off. To me, it's really kind of luck of the draw. You really have to make sure you're in a good spot, and this isn't the best of spots. I mean, we can probably make it work. Okay, so first thing you're gonna want to do is start off with making a hunting cabin. Yeah, hunting cabin and a gatherer's hut. These are going to be literally the bread and butter to your people's survival. Alright, so like I was saying, this is going to be the bread and butter to your survival. You are going to want to have your hunting cabin, your gatherer's hut, then a stockpile, and then we'll get these guys rolling. You're going to want to start making food really as soon as possible. That's... Let me turn down the volume just a bit. It's already... Okay. Alright. There we go. Still a little loud for my taste, but okay. So, like I said, these are going to be the keys to our survival. We are going to really take everything from that. This will be a nice cushion for us in terms of just starting a town. Well, from what I've already kind of drawing out in my head, if we can't just reach over this right here, yeah, no, it's not gonna like that. We might have to tunnel through this, which is fine. Yeah, we'll tunnel through it. Not a big deal. So that's how our town will probably be set up for what is our town called again? Senoir. Town Senoir. So like I said, get these going. Alright, now I got time for a couple of builders to start going with it. Okay, so now we got food in the process, or soon to be, which is good. We'll also no, we'll hold off on that for right now. So we got that going for us. We got the storage barn inbound. So we got the resources. Now we're gonna start making our town. Alright, let's get some hunters in the fray. So this is what you're going to want to do. This is the strategy I'm going with was something I read upon originally, which is that you are going to create the center of your town here-ish, and that you're going to have little outspurts of different gathering places elsewhere. So we got one here. I imagine we'll probably have one somewhere over here-ish in this neck of the woods, maybe one down here. And these little farmsteads, whatever you want to call them, are going to be feeding back into the main base, as we can see, which will be here eventually. It's going to take us some time, probably in a couple episodes. That's what it'll look like. Crap, we're running low on resources. So do that. Pick up some more for us. Now, after we have established food, as I'm already kind of doing, next thing without a doubt is housing your people. They will literally die in that first winter if you do not, and we're kind of cutting it close right now. We have 4 families, right? Yeah, 4 families, so 4 houses. One, okay, we got 1 ready, about to get 2. Let's make sure we get, I really want to make sure we have enough stone. Because the biggest thing is you don't want any lag time in your production. You want to mitigate as much movement as possible, so it's really bad that I have this right here. That's why I'm hoping that with the barn up, yeah, we're already starting to move stuff. Okay. All right. I think we're going to be all right for our first winter. Make a little road. Once you get past the first winter, then it's kind of up to you in terms of how, basically how the life and also maybe death of your civilization is going to be. Whether it's starvation because you're not you overexpanded, or uh, natural disaster, or rodents, or sickness. Oh, okay. Whew. All right, everyone's housed. People are a little hungry, but we're gonna survive the first winter, which is a-okay in my book. Nothing too flashy. Some people will recommend that you build the houses right next to them. You can do that if you want. I am personally not the biggest fan of that, but I understand the reasoning because, once again, all you're trying to do, especially right now, is reduce the amount of walking time for your villagers. But I teach their own on that. You can do it and still get by, as you can see right here. I mean, it's certainly not pretty, but at least mine maybe isn't that pretty, but it certainly at least just gets the job done, you know. Built a forester just so we can help, spruce up the forest we have going on right now. Then we also will have woodcutter for our firewood, because that's the next biggest thing that will kill you if it's not the exposure, it's the fact that nobody can actually access any fuel, so to keep themselves warm. So that's the next big thing we'll have right there, which we got. We're going to look into expanding into a few more food resources, probably look at a fisherman hut. I've seen a lot of people mod the fishing huts because I think that they're so inefficient. I don't know. They're okay to get some auxiliary resources, a little extra kick if you need it. But to be honest, I'm not a fan of them. I don't think they do enough for you. Let's see here. And so how many freestanding people do we have? 5. Okay. All right, kick this up. Bam. Now, if I still understand it correctly, your gatherer hut is going to be your biggest powerhouse of food gathering, uh, except for a farm. But with farms, what you're looking at is that you could you burn through tools really quick. If you're just using iron tools, you will burn through your tool supply in no time if you have too many farms up and going. So speaking of tool supply, we are going to get our first blacksmith going, because that's another killer. There's so many. What can't kill you in this game realistically? I mean, I'm waiting for the day that they make rabid animals that just come out and start taking your villagers away on a whim. Um, if you run out of tools, your production slows down, and then when your production slows down, you don't get as much food. And when you don't get as much food, people start dying. It could all snowball so quickly in this game, and I think that's what is one of the coolest as- survival aspects about it. Is you really have to be uh, a good administrator to your settlement. You really have to look at the long term. You can't just go for the short term games of being like, oh well, with a town of 19, we can get by with low tools. No, you can't. Low tools, A, is a great way to supply any newcomers that you have, and B, is a great source of trading. So another good thing is this river big enough for us to trade on. Let's look at the map. Yeah, it's biggest one we got, so I guess we're gonna have to work with it. You can go away now. There you go. All right, what are you missing? Stone. Senoir or Senoir, maybe. Yes, because I think Senoir is the I before the R, so maybe Senoir. A little classy now. Starting to shape up. We got our feet under us. I will say that if this is your first time playing Banished, don't go on hard difficulty. This took me a couple tries to really get down. I maybe to some I may have made it look kind of easy, but it's really not that easy. You have to be able to make a lot of knee jerk decisions in terms of making sure that everything is the way you want it and that your people can survive. I still sometimes fail. Like, there are still some failed settlements I have where I'm just like, oh yeah, we did not get off on the right foot. So don't think it ever gets simple because this game is ready and willing to always throw something new in your way. I've had one settlement I had a tornado touchdown within the first season. Literally wiped us all out, and I couldn't even I didn't even have the heart to play through it just because I was so pissed off. So keep that in mind. Every new playthrough of this game is always going to bring you a new set of challenges. I guess that's the only problem though with this game is that the start off is really where the meat of the action is, but there's not a whole lot of end game to it. There's not a whole lot of points, which I guess you could say for any city builder is okay. Well, what's the end game here? Is there an objective I have to meet? And that's not always the case. But what I will say is that there still is a lot of potential with this game. If you look at Steam Workshop, there's a great mod community out there for this game. There's a lot you can still do. I think the mod community itself breathed a lot of new life into this game that maybe the devs wouldn't have been able to offer. So kudos to the devs, kudos to the people out there who are willing to put in the time to make these new mods for the game. I'm hoping to showcase maybe a couple of those. I haven't seen a whole lot that's really caught my eye, but we'll take a look later. All right, so we're on winter 2 right now. Now, in order for your town to grow, you need to make more houses. So, your people move in, they have kids, those kids have kids, and then it kind of all builds on each other. It seems pretty slow at first, but it all adds up really quickly. Like if I were to put down like 4 houses right now, I'd probably starve myself pretty quickly. You need to be very conservative with your house building. Only if you have like really crazy surpluses of food and that you have a lot more food on the way would I ever recommend just putting down like 10 house plots because you're easily going to starve yourself if you ramp up too quickly. That's why it's always a little dicey too taking on nomads. Nomads you need to have what do you need to have? You have a trade post, a market, and your town hall. You need a lot to make 2 10-year-olds moved in together. That's a little weird. You need a lot to be able to take nomads, and nomads have almost always brought such a shock to my economy that I can never hold on to them. So I never quite see the usage of having a nomad. Teach their own though. If you think it's right, you think it's good, by all means. It's certainly a great way to get a lot of workers really quickly if you need it. Like if you have just a lot of farms that need to be tended to, then go on, yeah, take a couple nomads. But the nomad sizes do scale to the size of your cities. So, don't think that if you're have a population of 200 or 300 people that you're only going to get like a 10-person nomad tribe. You're going to get like 50 people, which can do some real damage to your economy if you're not ready. Gonna just clear out more of this. Do we have? Okay. So I really need some more workers. Okay, see, we're starting to get trees now, which is good. But yeah, let's just keep going with that. Mm-hmm. Looks a little funky, but that's how it's gonna work. And let's see here. Is there anyone else that could really benefit from me? Not quite. Yeah, okay. I'll make another house. Get some more workers in. Um, we'll we'll start making blocks just to kind of help with the order. All right, cool. So the city blocks I do just because it helps keep things neat. I'll also try to expand more back into here. I'm just looking to, you know what? Why don't I delete this now? I don't need you. And if we can, let's get that rolling. Yeah, we have enough stone to burn. That's fine. Um, I've always liked doing the city blocks just because it brings me back to a game I loved when I was younger, which is Black and White 2. I hope some of you know the game I'm talking about. Black and White 2 was this god. Oh, we lost somebody. Oh, that's disheartening. Um, it was this god game, but it was also a city builder that was just awesome. I don't know. It was so many different games rolled into one. It was really one of like the first big cutting edge next gen graphics. Like even like you could set up the graphics now to or compare it to many other games, it would still look pretty good. And that game's probably 10 years old now. That game, I put so much time into that. I love that game dearly. I really wish Lionhead Studios would come out with Black and White 3. I would almost consider paying somebody. I would pay somebody by buying the game, but also like paying a developer to make that game because that was an awesome and a well done game. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put it in the comments below or in the links below, like the Amazon link. Please take a look. It's a beautiful game. It's so much fun. One of the best city builder slash god games I think I've ever played, and it also has a great combat engine too. Um, Huge fan of it. Huge fan of that. But that's where I got my city blocking ideas from. I always started with the center and then built outward. So this is kind of going to be our center. I hope to make it more down south here, I guess you could say. And yeah, cool. Tunnel's already made. So that'll be nice. We'll be able to expand out to here pretty shortly, which I look to do. Have probably another gathering place right here-ish. Oh, which is already hitting us. All right. Yeah, see, so we're expanding pretty nicely here. And but yeah, Senoir. We're not calling it Senoir. We're gonna call it Senoir because it's French or classy like that. Is quite well underway. I will be checking back in with you guys, or I'll be making another episode pretty soon. But this is LastBrohican signing off. I hope you guys liked my first webcam video slash playthrough of Let's Play Banished. All right, you guys take it easy.